Hi everybody, this is Katie Oshiwanita with my series being AIS Reality Check. We're session 5, part 3 in regards to different facets to living in New Earth now. And this week we're going to talk about kind of the beings behind New Earth. And kind of the last little bit is what is the Ma-sha-ya-hana Residential Prayer Salon, aka my pod space that we utilize when we're working in Sanctuary Island. And so the Guardian Alliance, all right, we're talking about the Guardians, right? The Guardian Alliance of the Interdimensional Association of Free Worlds, short for it is IAFW, of the Emerald Order Melchizedek Cloister, Holy Order of the Yunasai, Sacred House of what? One. These many races of beings, okay, live by an egalitarian, all right, co-operative through co-creative agreements that are based upon the principles of law of one, communion, and genuine non-patriarchal Melchizedek Cloister Maharata inner Christos teachings. And that's a bit of information I got from of getting the wording correctly. Voyagers 1, Sleeping Abductee by Ashayana Deane, now Arhayas. And then also I wanted, before I got too far, initially I left it out. I'm like, why in the world am I leaving that one out? We have, in the work I do, I work very closely into beings called the AL-Hum-Bhra. And they are, let's see, I always want to make sure I get the wording right. They're Krystal People. They're eternal, crystalline, plasma, liquid sound consciousness from the eternal, internal core domains of the deity planes. My cat's chewing on some of my stuff. Deity planes who came in to do Bio-Regenesis or realign, and evac when a universal time matrix has gone down way too many rabbit holes and are having trouble finding their way back. Okay. So when we talk about the teachings of the inner Krystos, these would be the guys that were involved with creating those teachings, basically creating the teachings of the Law of One, basically what we consider the 7 Hermetic Laws. These are the guys that put it all together, basically A.L-Hum-Bhra. Okay, they're the administrators of it. There's bigger domains that beings that work with that, but they're the ones that are responsible for making sure everything all works out okay. Well, you think you're going to get that birdie, huh? Yeah, that birdie going to get you. All right. Okay. So, going deeper. So we have from the because we're starting from the creation core and expanding down into our time matrix. Okay. From the eternal Ephie, life was created through the Yunasai, first cause, the all that is, God source, first eternal, DhA-Ya-TEi. The deity planes and the aurora continuum are held within, okay, this encryption of first cause light and sound within the Ephie, which is the eternal first consciousness field. Okay. The Ephie consciousness field first congeals as a condensation region. Okay, now I'm actually having just a little. I just want to make sure I get the wording right. Okay, because there's how I say things, and then there's how the guardians say things. So excerpt from KDL3, session 6 by Arhayas from A.I.S Productions, or Arhayas.com. I don't know why it's Arhayas. Oh, I guess it's okay. Anyway, excerpt from that. So, the Effie Infinitum Eternal Life Generator Cell, the flashing on, light and sound, tensions, sparkings, holding within the womb, sound of creation of the one, till it generates, and then flashes out the suns, right? Okay. So it's always when we're talking about generator cells, that's what we're talking about, okay? So the Effie Infinitum Eternal Life Generator Cell, first yoke of externalization, next forms within the Effie consciousness field. All right, so within the all that is, before creation, because this is talking about the first thought intention of the all that is within the Effie consciousness field. Okay, because it's not a person. It's not a person. It's not a he or she. No matter how much you want to do that, it's a consciousness field. All right. Birth the idea of having a being as a being. Okay. Well, because it was like, all right, I need to expand and become something more than I am right now. All right. That's all of what materialization is about. Expanding the Effie, the eternal it's really just the eternal consciousness field, but we'll say the first because we're connecting it into the tie-in of connecting into manifest expression. Okay. Oh, the nose is itching. All right, they're tickling. Okay. So the Urele Conservatory, Kinservatory, Eternal First Creation, UYH, capital U, dash NIFIED field. We now call it unified field, but unified field, known as the Highland Heavens of the Effie first egg of externalization, then forms through the first 8 sun phase cycles of the Effie Infinitum generator cell. The egg in the womb, the egg, generate suns, and they created a variety of different types of worlds. Okay. All right, next. From the Yunasai, aka all that is God Source First Eternal. Yunasai was what we were first given in the original Voyagers books. Yunasai. It's a sound tone. It's deciphering it down into the all that is God Source First Eternal. Forms through the 7 suns, right? The first 3 Trinity suns, or the Chris code, birth out life through the A.I.S dream stream, creating our time matrix through 3 and I'm saying it in the present because it's continually in every now. Created, okay? In the mind of creation. All right. Creating our time matrix through the 3 yanas, so that connecting it into our, now we're connecting it down into our time matrix, being that there's billions and trillions and quadrillions of other time matrices, but we're focusing it into ours, okay? It first within that egg cell of generating the 7 suns, and it continues that process, okay? replicating, but still holding that original encryption, because it has to. It's what it is, holding its original encryption. Created again within our time matrix, so we had it created within our own womb of creation within our time matrix. The 3 yanas, also known as geomantic entities, ultra-terrestrials, cosmic trinity, or collectives of Melchizedek Cloister, Order of the Yunasai. Also, Melchizedek Cloister Eoni Elder Councils. Okay, that's some of the wording if you're in the as a grid keeper. If you don't know those terms, you need to get to know those terms, and if you know those terms and you've been looking at them poorly, you need to look around where you're at. Okay. Okay, these 3 yanas are the blue flame grandianas, okay, light and sound. So you're going to have the light, color, and the sound, okay, it goes with it. But in our domain, it's flashed out from the inner domain of the sound yun, and it flashes out into exteriorization. Okay, no Callie Boppies, you're gonna get in trouble. Oh, you're just a big helper. Okay, good girl. Good girl. Yes, you are. All right. Exteriorization, externalization, flashing out into the light sound. Okay. There's other things that have been created from that light structure. Some of it's very organic, and some of it is what I call second creation mechanics. So it lost that second creation mechanics, lost its connection, but it's still made from, but it's not anymore. Okay, but anyway, so we have the initial gold flame, Ashayana, and the violet flame, Ramayana. So we have the primal light fields, basically, okay, of light and sound. So from the sound, it's the Grandianas, Ashayana, and violet, because it's still exteriorization, externalization, so you're still going to have some kind of light spectra to it. And it's also known as the Kunda rays. So the primal sound field of the Kunda ray energy matrix. Okay. They in turn seeded this time matrix 950 billion years ago, quote unquote, by creating the three primal light Ki Ra She fields of the, I know we've heard that term, Rishi collective, aka solar sun, Rishi, meta-terrestrials, or the 3 founder races, known as the Emerald Order Elohai Elohim. Then you have within that same matrix, that same group, we have the Templar Anu Elohim. Okay? Now these Templar Anu Elohim of this collective, okay, of this Rishi collective, are now running primarily, for the most part, what I call second creation, finite, patriarchal programs. And they've been doing it for about 250 million years, okay? And both of them are part of the first projection blue flame. They came from the blue flame Grandianas, okay, of the primal light and sound fields, which, let's see, what is my best? Ouch! Little girl, just get your girl. She's mean. She's mean. Yeah. Shoot, thought there was one that was a little bit better, but I guess we'll use this one. Oh, wait a minute, here we go. Okay. primal light and sound fields plugs into our matrix utilizing the cathara grid structure, the balls and bones, energy centers, energy lines of the neural network pathways of mind, these of creation. And each of these energy centers, I would say we have our lotus structure, which I showed you briefly last week, and I will be showing more again. Another view of that, I think I'm getting it right. Our matrix hooks into, am I getting this right? I'm not getting this right. HU5, Harmonic Universe 5 is the primal light and sound field, excuse me. It's still all part of our matrix, and actually the HU5 or primal light field actually surrounds, okay, because we came birthed out of it, following the same structures, the original egg cell of the 7 sun cells still work within the same basic matrix structure. All right, so the next one after the first projection, blue flame grandianus, then the gold order, I think we've probably heard this before, Seraphi, Seraphim, or we've heard Seraphi, I don't think, or is it Seraphim? Anyway, we've heard part of it in our history, okay, especially the Kabbalistic get into the Seraphis, yeah, or is it the Seraphims? Probably the Seraphims. They don't get the word Seraphi in there. Or is it? I'm sorry. I should be better at that. Anyway, they are the second light projection from the gold flame Vajrayana polaric. Okay. Then there is the amethyst order, who is the third light projection from the violet flame Ramayanus triadic. And again, I got this from material from the Voyagers one, Sleeping Abductee by Ashayana Deane and Arhayas, and that was page XLVII. Okay. There's a beautiful, harmonious, I always say dance, tension between the light, electrical colors. So when you're talking about light, sound one in creation, the light would represent the electrical. Right. Electrical colors, male, okay, or the symbolic terminology. And then the pre-sound vibration, flashing down here from the core, flashing of the pre-sound vibration, you have the terminology for symbology, magnetic, sound, female energy, right? That womb holding fields of the Un-One Trinity or Chris code, or what did I say earlier? The egg, the highland heavens of the Effie first egg of externalization. Okay, or the Chris code, or the first thought intention of creation from the all that is, God source first eternal. Okay, this dance or tension within the mind of creation of the all that is, God source first eternal, IATEi, of the Yunasai, there is an ebb and flow of nourishment, replenishment, and expansion. Okay, within its plasma lotus network passages. Okay, so this of that cathara grid structure that I always show you. It's been a while since I've showed it to you, so I might as well go ahead and show it to you again. Okay. All right. Everything has this. Everything. everything in creation, I was going to say organic, but even at some point the inorganic that's been modified, the light, flashing out light body structure has been modified. That's where we get the second creation mechanics. That's where we get a lot of the Templar Anu, Elohim, and there's actually all three of the founder races have that aspect to them of running what we would consider inorganic, not perpetually renewing, finite life creation structure that was created from the light body structure, not from the eternal internal domains. But the point of trying to make a point with the value and significance of this structure, perfect as it is, does not need to be modified in any way to be made into anything else than what it is. These energy centers and energy lines all connect, okay, the nodes, all right, and I think I had, oh, maybe I didn't. The biofeed interface system, connecting into the earth plane and feeding it, but looking again at this image right here, okay, right here. These nodes connect to each other and communicate in knowledge, consciousness fields of the DhA, and the 8th also connects in as well. There's a connection with this. All the different cathartic structures of, like, all our different bodies that I've talked about, all interconnect in the 8th monad. The monad. There's a significance of that. The reason for that is that that's how there's the nourishment part, all the way back into that DhA consciousness field of the all that is God search for is eternal, back through all the domains, through the neural network pathways of mind, through that lotus bud structure, which is into the plasma lotus network passages. One becomes, okay, through that lotus bud structure. And I will be showing that to you in a minute. But with that, and it's not, it's that expansion and nourishment of that biofeed interface system of all life. It's not, it's the plasma is the generator, the energy, renewal, but the consciousness of the awareness, because it's all a consciousness field, goes with it, okay? Because that consciousness field created the externalization or creation of a manifest structure was for the expansion, the feeding, the aliveness of becoming something more than what it was before, that need for expansion, and then that internal need to bring that back in and be nourished by that expansion. And Seth talked about that extensively in his work, that tension, okay, between wanting, I'm spacing on the terminology used, but it was a lot of that wanting to expand, wanting to, he pretty much said it, expanding out, learning new things, going out, but then that need to also put it all together and have a structure to it. And in that structure you create more, and you then expand out. But it's a special tension, right, between the two, all held within the mind, or the Un-One of the all that is. Okay? So, the plasma lotus flows of the neural network pathways of the eternal mind of creation from the first, that's where we can now get into, oh, you're just such a little loving girl. Just don't chew up my book. Sorry. From the first aquiline sun within the 7 suns within the eternal core domains, the lotus plasma generator bud cell flows. The Reyes Aminas core bud cell, core bud shield, and Eye of God Cosmea core eternal plasma generator within the eternal core domains of the spirit body. So when we're talking about the Aphia state, we're talking about this, that first cause creation was basically really the formation of the spirit body or sound body, that then generated into a light sound body. Okay. And that, okay, that's page 21. That's not what I wanted to show. Okay. I should have done that. Oh, here we go. Just showing it again. That lotus structure, and there's a lot of mechanics to go with that, and that connects into that, what we talked, oh, here it is, what we talked with last week, okay? That mechanics, we've been integrating it, of the eternal spirit body structure, connecting the link-ups of the energy lines and centers back with our light body structure, because we had decided for a while we wanted to experience not having that connection again, that expansion within the mind. It's all still within the mind. It's just changing the codes. It's all coding too. All the codes. Okay. All right. So next we're going to. Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted. Okay, here we go. Before we move on to the Ma-sha-ya-hana MyPod space, I wanted to get a little bit more into the lotus structure, okay? And then you may want to stop the recording and just kind of look at this for a few minutes. I'm just going to maybe pineally induce it for those that have never done that, and that's you through your eyes, you focus to the pineal. Oh, okay. Bacantry above me. Behind me is Bacantry. Okay. So when we look at, and again, actually really technically every cell, every atom, I think probably has a lotus structure to it. But this particular view is connecting into the chakra system. So the chakras have a lotus anatomy to them that is finally waking up. Okay, that's part of the chakra system is part of the light body structure. You cannot have a light body structure, or at least an organic light body structure, without its organic lotus spirit body structure. So ever since really November of 2011, we started to reconnect back in with all the different things that have been going on, because remember that second creation finite light structure wants to live and the only way it can live is vampiring off organic. It cannot sustain on its own because it was created not to sustain on its own. It's a finite structure for the experience of experiencing finite structure, but it's going to work really, really hard at sustaining itself, okay? Because we are powerful creators and we created it. Okay? So really that's what we're dealing with, is our own inner being that created a very powerful finite structure, mechanic structure. That's what I call second creation mechanics, but that's not really accurate because I know there's like billions of different kinds of variations on it. But for this domain where we're at, I'll call it second creation mechanics. See this? These lotus structures, the petals can open and close, open and close. And there's a feeding, okay, and generating of the plasma energy flows, okay, radiation, plasmas. And this is a really coolio one right here, because we're looking at the lotus structure, looking at the chakras. Remember, I think I've said this. Well, if I haven't said it, I'll make sure I say it again. Each chakra, okay, is actually, you have one, okay, starting with, yeah, I think I did remember doing this, but I'll say it again. You have your throat chakra. I'm doing that because you can see that on the camera. You have the front vortice. You have a back vortice, right? You have a side vortice, another side vortice. You've got one above it and one below. The one below connects with the one below, below. There's also, I think, things going on the side, above. You have a lotus on each of those. And then a lotus in the center with the seal. So you have many flows, okay? And we have, yeah, we have many flows, okay? So that's kind of when I was talking about working with the Cathar structure, okay? Everything takes up the same space, just a different angular rotation of particle spin. So wherever you have a chakra, you're going to have an energy center, Cathar energy center, a signet, a ley line, an axitonal line, okay? Because it's all within that original 8 bud cell. It's just holographic realities, but it's still that original connection, Christ code. Just phasing, okay? Just phasing at different phasing intensities or flashing intensities. So you have a lotus structure connected to all these, and they have their ways of connecting with their lotus structures through the energy lines, okay? And it's perpetually renewing feeding system. Perfect design the way it is. We just got creative with it, okay, and altered it, but it's perfect as designed, okay? All right, now we're looking at the Ma-sha-ya-hana Residential Prayer Salon, aka my pod, and let's see, and that's, okay, so the Ma-sha-ya-hana Prayer Salons, okay, I'll read first what I have, and then we'll show some images in a little bit more detail. All right, the Ma-sha-ya-hana Prayer Salons are located in the Silver Seed Temple of A.I.A on Sanctuary Island off the coast of Emmaus on Aurora Earth deity plains. And that I got from Sliders 11 manual, page 28, which is okay. And if I remember right, I think it's one of these two buildings. Because one of them is the meeting room, and one of them I think is where you initially could connect into your pod space. Although with the work I do, I worked with the guardians and have kind of another adjoining place to connect into. Because I do a little bit different than what was originally brought through, because that was originally brought through to get it established again here in this time-space reality, and it's been expanding and evolving and growing, but I'm still following the natural organic structure. I'm not altering it, I'm just working with it and expanding with it. All right. These MyPod spaces, I like to call them MyPod spaces, are our home on Sanctuary Island, but they're even more than that, okay? They are a replica of our unique energy encryption, okay? It's all codes, all right? Energy Keylon codes, which I didn't talk about that in all the creation stuff, but when you have that phasing, that's in the light and sound, those are Keylons. Yeah. The part of K, or the part of K is that original egg, It's another term for that original, or at least the manifest expression, first manifest expression. The part of K, part of Chi, the light, part of Cum is the sound, but it's from this realm. The is more the sound, actual vibration sound, which is actually more fast, 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 fast in this manifest expression to where it becomes very dense and solid. The light is actually, frequency is a lot more where the radiation or the plasmas can flow when you're coming at this end in this matrix, different than within the wound one. Okay, that's a little confusing. Pre-sound versus actual sound zone difference. All right. And that's why in Chelonic science we tend to say the lower vibration is more physically dense. The light, the lower vibration, more intensity, more light, more radiation. The higher vibration is more dense in this realm. In the core, it's the other way around. Okay. Okay. Okay, so it's shaped basically like a, it's shaped like it's, I keep wanting to say like, it's shaped as a teardrop. And, all right. Oh, and this is just, what may not, well, I guess I do have it. I guess it was the next page that I was going to go to and I didn't, on the plasma lotus structures. Just showing what it looks like connecting into the head, the pineal, which is the mind consciousness field. Okay. Okay. I had, okay, I got that one. I wanted, where's our Ma-sha-ya-hana? I guess this is the page for our Ma-sha-ya-hana. Oh, you know what? I should have made a sticky, here we go. Okay. All right. Teardrop shape structure. All right. Put my fingers on it. Okay, it is a structure shape of a teardrop. Inside there are running A.I.S dream stream, holy waters. Remember I talked about that earlier. Aquifers and waterfalls. There are 4 fire, water, flame hearths and our own unique manifestation platform upon which we dream our reality into being, totally self-information. There is an A.I flame upon the lens of the A.I skylight lens atop the pod. Okay. This is the manifestation platform that we stand on. Okay. Kind of like it's Aisha kind of explains it's a nice soft doggy bed. It's very comfortable, very peaceful, very joyful, very nice. The aquifers, the did I get the front view or the back view? Hold on. There was 2 of these. Okay, here we go. This is a better one. Our waterfalls. We have the holy water cascading waterfall, 8 vertical water flow lines, which go all the way around it. The hearths, showing 2 here. So I get into the fireside chats, part of my new class. Water flame hearths. Water flame. 4 fire, water, flame hearths. Okay, and all around. And this is opening it up to where you can see it, because normally it would be all closed. And kind of looks more like that structure. Kind of like a Vermana a little bit, although I couldn't find a picture that I was really happy with, And some of the ones that I looked up on the internet were very mechanized looking ones, and it was like, no, these are very organic living structures. And then that was the A.I. Lens skylight up at the top. It's a refractory lens, it's a lens, part of the focusing and creation, externalizing, manifesting out, and connecting back in. Okay, and I guess that's kind of, again, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. But pillar, peace energy that I talk about on the manifestation template, connecting into the lens, the A.I opening, dream streaming, total creation manifestation. And it's got your energy signature encryption of your original Rishaic first egg encryption of who you are, see all that is, God, source, first, eternal. Okay. And again, the A.I. direct link up to the deity planes and Aurora continuum. That's part of this Aurora Earth, part of this connecting into this structure, or reconnecting in. I really think at one time we were very much living and being part of this world in this before we decided to experience the finite second creation mechanics. So the direct link up into the deity planes and the Aurora continuum that connects us back into our spirit body connection in this time-space reality. Because again, Sanctuary Island is part of this domain, but it's part of the spirit body of this domain, connecting into the original deity planes of the eternal internal core structure of the IAFW consciousness field. As we expand and grow into this structure, it also becomes a travel vehicle we can use to traverse more easily the neural network pathways of the mind of creation as an adept. Excuse me. And then, sorry, my personal opinion, these structures look a lot like Brahmanas that we see in ancient Indian texts and recently discovered. The Ma-sha-ya-hana, okay, because the name, again, Ma-sha-ya-hana Prayer Salon, relates to who we are as Adashi Adepts, okay? And a Adashi Adept is one who has traveled through all the dimensional domains, okay? That's not really the one that I'm happy with. It may be the one that I need to use. I think this is close. It's close enough. Domains, dimensional domains. Okay, we're just talking in this matrix. But again, we have by the way, it's nice and windy. It feels good. All right. Just for showing, and I keep talking about the Partike Partikai, that phasing within the Un. All right. Eka system. Oh, what did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Okay. I will get this done for y'all. Okay. This is our Veka. Okay. And we are conscious, our identity consciousness that we're focused at right now is density 1. Our incarnate soul, oversoul, Rishi, or Maharata. When I talked about the Maharata Christos teachings, see if I can get that page again. Yeah, the Inner Christos Teachings, the Law of One Communion in Genuine Non-Patriarchal Melchizedek Cloister Maharata Inner Christos Teachings. That's our blueprint template, because we're all of this, well, we're more than this, but in this time matrix, within our, okay, so, my phone went off. All right, so, the, and I just talked about, yeah, lower, higher self, the midpoint, the in between. There's a lot of blocks. Second creation, finite programming to block. Once you make it into this to the density 2, you then have a link up to the rest of the neural network pathways, so to speak, or the Cathara grid structure, because the energy lines for density 1, then you go into density 3, and yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, energy line to 7, 8, 9, over to 10, 11, 12, okay? Okay. That Veka system, the monad in the middle, parallel light body structure, okay? Particum, Partikai, and then this has its primal light and sound field of the Rishi level, okay? I think the light, yeah, so you have the Kundare and the Kirishe, okay, the light and sound, primal light and sound fields. Makes a complete ecosystem. Yeah, Eka. And that fits onto another view of that, and you eventually get these. Okay, something really huge like that, and it just gets bigger cosmeas, or many of these. All right, they all interconnect, interfeed, and nourishment, expansion, nourishment, expansion. Okay. All right. And okay. So that of what I just showed you, of all those different domains, we can more easily in our Ma-sha-ya-hana space. Okay, when we have that fully activated, that's where the Vimana idea comes in. I think that many of those Vimana that were like built into, or what looked like was built into a side of a mountain, I think was literally a conscious being that was very expansive, very much into the spirit, what we consider as gods. Okay, here. When the second creation mechanics came in and shut things down, that consciousness just kind of found its right place that it felt like it wanted to connect into, and then kind of rooted in and shut down in those spots, but still had the encryption there. And I think things were built into it and around it, but that's my personal opinion. Okay. So I think, excuse me, the Ma-sha-ya-hana relates to who we are as Adashi Adepts. Excuse me. An Adashi Adept is one who has traveled through all the dimensional domains, returned to the core of the all that is, God Source First Eternal, I-A. They have now chosen to come back down through the dimensional domains of the neural network pathways of the mind of creation to experience again and or do service contracts to help others traverse their unique neural network pathways of the mind of creation. Okay? So these are like really high up, really, really expanded, evolved beings that have kind of been through all kinds of stuff and come back, got nourished again, expanded, and then has now wants to, because they really got a full picture of what's going on, come back down to, or come back through. Okay, an Adashi adept is one who has traveled through all dimensional domains, returning to the core of the all that is, God Source First Eternal Aya-Aya. They have now chosen to come back down through the dimensional domains of the neural network pathways of the mind of creation to experience again or do service contracts to help others traverse their unique neural network pathways of the mind of creation. Okay? The Ma-sha-ya-hana is an Ma-sha-ya-hana, what's the other word that's down here? That is a boogered up version of this. Anyway, people that hear this know there's a word. It'll come to me. Anyway, Ma-sha-ya is an accomplished adept that through service contracts were able to navigate. Okay, I did that one. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Adept that through their service contracts were able to navigate their way back fully again into the core of the all that is, God Source First Eternal Aya-Aya. They are currently involved in the fail-safe safe service contract to help us as adepts make it home. In other words, that disconnection, work at helping us, supporting us, working through that, so that we can, bring the full connection of all the fantastic things we've learned and gained from being living in a finite second creation mechanics world, all kinds of the fantastic things that we've gained from that experience. So that Ma-sha-ya-hana pod or salon or residential prayer salon is part of connecting back into that part of ourselves that's really the Ma-sha-ya-hana. That part of ourselves that has gone down and back up and back down again and has done all kinds of stuff. Because to tell you the truth, for the most part, most people that are here are the ones that are the security team, so to speak, the ones that have really been going back and up and down and on and on and around. Anyway, that would be listening to this video for sure. I guess that pretty much ends this. It was very long. I wanted to get all those elements in there so that it's important now, I think, as to reawaken back into who we are as the all that is, to really understand the mechanics, understand the connection between the light body structure and the spirit body structure, and having choices on how we can embody that mechanics again, and this fantastic aurora earth, or authentic earth, or Uriah earth, coined also as new earth, that is a construct from the deity planes, from that core Aphia state that's birthed back into our domains, that we can here and now be the all that is, God Source First Eternal Aya, in a very authentic, beautiful way, as we connect all those pathways and we can travel up and down, taking our bodies with us, because they're all holographic realities, so it's changing the biochemical composition and moving up and down and around, but holding all the spaces all at one time. And Seth kind of talked about that in the inner ego, the inner being, basically. And please subscribe if you'd like to Being A.I. Services mailing list for my free book, Being in Alignment. Callie, how'd you do that? How did I do that? Hold on, little girl. You don't have to move. Oh boy. Anyway. Being in Alignment, my class that meets weekly Wednesdays, right now at 8 p.m. EDT time. New York time, also considering earlier in the day for European crowd. So if you are a European crowd and would like to go, but that time's not good for you, let me know. And then also I will be sending out in the next few days, especially those that subscribe, and I will on my Being in Alignment in Spirit Facebook group and my Being AI Services group, probably the Alignment in Spirit Facebook group. But really, it's good to subscribe to my mailing list, and you can get the details and information on my Being AIS Fireside Chat Seminar, Re-Embody the Essence of the Law of One, that will be starting August 3rd, Saturday, August 3rd. It's a 6-month course, meeting bi-weekly, I did it again, bi-monthly. I talked about it not too long ago. So, I guess that's it. I hope you guys are doing well. And I love you guys, and take care, and hope to see you, and I hope to see you soon in my class and other classes, and hear what you have to say and share in your waking up process. So with that, I didn't miss anything. Bye.